Good afternoon, cyber friend. It's Mitty Man coming at you again from Walks Music. Yet another word for today. We give God all the praise and honor, and we give Him all the glory for life, health, and strength for the way it is. And we thank Him for each and every one of you cyber friends. You know who you are. And as you see on the title of my video today, I've done videos about this subject many times before, but I felt like it was time for me to do another one. The Spirit leads you, especially when your everyday dealing, sometimes dealing with these same issues. Strife and contention. Strife and contention really is mirror images to each other almost. I call them first cousins. They're closely related because each one of them got to do with contentions and with strife and disagreement, conflict. Each one of them is got something to do. Whereas the contentions is a heated disagreement, and then strife is an angry and bitter disagreement, almost to the point of just about to get into a fist fight with each other. But at any rate, I wanted to relate something to y'all, if I can. This is what happened with Paul and Barnabas. Paul and Barnabas, they had a conflict. They had a contention with John Mark. John Mark, if I'm not mistaken, was Barnabas' nephew, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was Barnabas' nephew. I'm gonna have to check on that. If I'm wrong, I'll come back and let y'all know that he was not his nephew. But I believe John Mark was Barnabas' nephew. But at any rate, Barnabas wanted John Mark to go on his second journey, I believe. When John Mark went with Paul and Barnabas on their first missionary journey, John Mark got tired of being mistreated, and he couldn't take the pressure of being out there getting stoned and all of that. And you know what I mean? All the ailments that came along with the job. Just like we all do. Us as musicians, sometimes we have ailments that come along with our job, and we have to deal with these things, and they are not always pretty. So this is what happened with John Mark, and John Mark wanted to go back home to Jerusalem, and so Paul told him to go. And then when Barnabas wanted to take John Mark again on the second journey, Paul said no, and it was heated, and it got so heated until Paul and Barnabas split. They separated and went their separate ways. And this is when after this happened, after that long friendship with them two, Paul and Barnabas separated, never again to be walk again in the Christian faith anymore, as in the work in the ministry together. Therefore, it was after this that Paul got Silas, and they became missionary partners. So people, let me tell you something. This goes even down to your basic level of experience with each other, one-on-one in the church, and just in particular. You know, I look at social networks, and that since they've been around and surfaced up and they were born, and you got a lot of people, and you got social network coming up every which way, and you got those certain people that come on and they want to befriend you or get you as a contact, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that either. You get like-minded people to be your contacts, in other words, and therefore y'all have a fellowship, and y'all got something in common that you can talk about and discuss and whatnot. That's understandable. But there's also comes a time when there'll be conflicts, because see, one person wants you to just do all of. See, most of us are very selfish when it comes right down to it. In other words, I want y'all to just automatically agree with everything I say, and I want you to endorse everything I do. But you, on the other hand, you would not reciprocate. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the one that's being done to, neither is it fair for you to expect someone to do that. See, I'm like this. Mitty Man just straight from the hip. I try to do the best I can. I got my faults. God is working on me every day just like He's working on you. I have not reached perfection. So therefore, you know, Mitty Man's subject to fail in area just as well as anybody else. But I'm just saying that this is what I look at when it comes like, okay, if you got contact and they don't contact you, why have them on your list? I've told y'all this here many times. I've said if you have people that's on your list, mailing list or whatever, and if they're your fans or whatever you want to call them, and they don't never contact you. They don't never say nothing to you. Or what are they doing on your contact list? So in other words, take them off your contact list. That's what I do. Anyone don't, I mean, I know exactly who to contact me on a daily basis or bi-weekly basis. I know, and then I know people that don't contact me at all. Those are the ones that I just go and I just get them off my list. Ain't no sense in me having ward through their name looking for somebody that I know that I converse with on a regular basis. So I just get all that clutter out the way. And therefore, my real contact, the people that do contact me, I can get to them when I need them. That's what I'm talking about, people. There's no need for anyone to get upset and mad. Well, I mean, I've been doing YouTube now for quite some time. I've been doing Facebook for quite some time. I don't go there much. I don't go there much now, much more. You know, I do my videos, I upload them, and that's it. I don't hardly go there. I barely ever go there to read anything unless somebody tell me something. I don't worry about it. But now, what I'm saying is, I have never had a problem with anyone that worrying about how many views I got. I never worried about that. But I do hope that whoever sees something of my teaching, I hope that they get something out of it. And I'm praying, and it's my hope that it will help them in living, to live the life that Christ wants us to live, and live a victorious life. Not that many man can be sticking his chest out like he's doing something. No. That God's glory will be revealed in what I do. That's the only reason I do what I do. So in other words, this strife and contention and stuff that have no place in the church. It has no place in the body of Christ. Matter of fact, I just got through telling a couple of mine people that support me in my Bible study. Two of the young ladies that's very, very good and support me. And I told them that, you know, we are not going to, don't fall out because of the fact that some of us may not see eye to eye on certain things. Let us not fall out. You can disagree, but it's an agreeable way to disagree. Let us not fall out and just go and start going the other way and this way and talking about one another and hating one another. No, we're not going to do that. And I'm not going to lower myself down to that standard, to whereas I'm going to let a social network make me hate somebody. Oh, bump that. Who cares about a social network? Who cares about Vimeo or YouTube or any other that mess? All that stuff, I was doing fine before it, and I'm going to do fine after it's gone. Because a lot of things come and go, just like people. Everybody that come in your life, I remember T.D. Jakes preaching on this here one time. He said, everybody that come in your life is not there to stay. They come for a season. But real people, if you never lost a friend that you never really had anyway. So if you got people that came in your circle, and then all of a sudden they left your circle, well, they fulfilled their duty. They done fulfilled their time in your life. God didn't mean for them to stay connected to you. And matter of fact, there are some people that you need to disconnect for God to raise you to another new level. See, everybody cannot go with you when God get ready to raise you to that new level. It could be because they may not be ready for a new level, so therefore God have to detach you away from them. It's just like a rocket. When a rocket go off from Cape Canaveral in Florida, it got sections that got to fall off. The booster rocket, they fall off after they get the main module where out of the atmosphere and to break the gravitational pull of the earth. Once them rocket boosters burn their fuel, they detach from the other rocket, and then another one detach. They keep detaching until they get to the main module. Once the aircraft or the spacecraft is out in the space where it do not have the restrictions of gravity. So in other words, there are some people that need to fall off you. Don't worry about that. In other words, I tell people, everybody that I'm connected to, if you got something else that you need to do, do it. Do it. If I've had people that I was teaching, but they had something else that came up, I told them to go do it. If you're going to better yourself, don't worry about Midi-Man. Midi-Man ain't got nowhere to put you. You go on and do what you have to do. Don't worry about if people don't comment on your videos. I mean, good grace, if I worried about that, I would have stopped doing videos a long time ago. But I'm not doing it for that. I'm not doing it for that. And I hope the rest of you are not doing it for that. Do it for the glory of God. But remember, what goes around comes around. See, in other words, I know I lost my grandmama here 3 weeks ago today. And I can count on one hand just about one hand the people that was connected to me supposedly that even had the decency to wish me a condolences in the loss of my grandma. But I don't get mad about that because I know how people are. Most people are selfish. They are self-centered. They introverted when it comes to stuff like that. But now you let something happen to them and their family, they want you to roll out. I had one digger say they want you to roll out all the red carpet and pull out all the stops when it comes to them. But Jesus told me, just as you would that people do to you, you must do likewise. Amen. That's the only thing I'm going to say about that. So in other words, strife and contentions have no place with man, and I refuse to get into that. Not saying that I can't, but I'm saying I refuse, and I'm not going to get into it unless if as much as it lies within me, I would never get in strife and contention with nobody. I will leave you alone first and put you at bay. And then when things settle, then we can go from there. But until then, me and man have no problem. I go one step at a time, and I live one day at a time. And I got some people that right now I've been waiting on to get certain things done. They haven't done nothing. They haven't done it yet. So I left them alone about it. I'm not going to keep on begging. I mean, that's one thing I don't do is beg. I will act, but I'm not going to beg. But at any rate, we just need to know whatever we get into, if God ain't in it, come out of it, because it's going to come to nothing. And like I said, let's put the strife and contentions at bay. Contentions and strife don't need to be in the church, and neither does it need to be in you. This being said, this is Middy Man. Until the next Bible study, peace and goodbye.